So here we go. So this is the demand curve for monopoly, or the firm is called monopolist. Okay, the market is called monopoly. Market is called monopoly. Firm is called monopolist. So competitive firm demand curve is horizontal straight line, whereas the demand curve for monopolist is like demand curve. It follows the law of demand. And now let's come to understand the revenues of monopoly. So all the formulas are the same. The total revenue is equal to price into quantity. Average revenue is equal to total revenue divided by quantity, and it is equal to price. So average revenue is equal to price. While the marginal revenue formula is still the same, changes in total revenue divided by changes in quantity. So let's see that here. So we have the example from your book in which we have a quantity of water per gallons in gallons and the prices. Since this is the monopoly, and monopoly follow the law of demand, so you see that quantity increases, price decreases, right? So if quantity in gallons increases, price start decreasing. So now question arises, how we calculate the total revenue? So total revenue is equal to price times quantity, right? So you see the total revenue is equal to 10, 18, 24, 28, 30, 30, 28, and 24. What about the average revenue? Average revenue is equal to total revenue divided by quantity. So we have proved again the same thing, that price is equal to average cost, because the fundamental nature of the formula is the same. So price is equal to average revenue, right? How we calculate the marginal revenue? What is the formula for marginal revenue? Changes in total revenue divided by change in quantity. So here is the column. So where this 6 came from? 6 came from changes in total revenue, 28 minus 24 minus 18 divided by 3 minus 2, right? And now you tell me, did you find the perfect competition condition? What is the perfect competition? What is the perfect competition market revenue condition? Price is equal to AR is equal to MR. Is that the condition here?
No.
Because we know that price is equal to AR, but price is not equal to MR. So you see 7 is equal to 7, but here you see 2. 5 is equal to 5 here, but it is 0 here. 4 is equal to 4, but here -2, and here -4. So we have extracted the revenue condition for monopoly, and which is that price is equal to AR, but price and AR are both not equal to MR. Right, guys? And what else we find out from here? So look at the table here. So you see, when price is 9, MR is 8. When the price is 7, AR is 7, but MR is 4. When price is 5, AR is 5, and MR is 0. It means price and AR always greater than MR, right? We have found that price is equal to AR, but this is not equal to MR. And then we find out that price is equal to MR and they both are greater than MR. So at every level, whether the quantities are 4, you see, AR and price both greater than MR. And did you notice a special case here? The revenue can be negative, right? Amazing, isn't it? Have you any got the -2 incremental sales? Have you got -4 incremental sales?
No.
Right? This is amazing. So that is the beauty of monopoly as well. So you can find out that. So that question in which we talked about that, can monopoly earn unlimited profit? So you see, monopoly is selling more, 6 gallon, 7 gallon, 8 gallon, but look at that. After some times, its total revenue start decreasing. So what is the layman concept? The more we sell, the more our sales would be. The more quantity we sell, our sale would be higher. Look at that. The more we sell, 7 gallon, 8 gallon, we are getting less sales. Drop from 30 to 28 to 24. Right? And why? Because of MR is negative. So it means monopoly cannot earn unlimited profit. But can monopoly earn a maximum profit? Oh yeah, that's why monopoly is there. That's why we want to set up monopoly so that we can earn maximum profit. Right? So let's see what text says. So I just explain all the things here. So you see, price is equal to AR, price and AR is not equal to MR, plus price and AR both greater than MR. So a monopoly's marginal revenue is always less than the price of its goods. The demand curve is downward sloping because we saw that here when the price decrease, quantity increase. So we follow a downward sloping curve, right? So this is just the explanation, nothing of rocket science here. So I'm just going to move forward. So when monopoly wants to increase its total revenue, it has to go through with two effects. Simple, we know that the total revenue is equal to price into quantity. So if monopoly wants to increase its sales, right? So there are two ways. One is either through manipulating the quantity or either to manipulate the price. If monopoly wants to increase its total revenue, and the strategy is it wants to increase its total revenue by decreasing the price. So what is the output effect? What is the price effect? Price has to be decreasing, and then quantity is going to be increasing. If monopoly wants to increase its total revenue, what is the price effect? It need to decrease the price. What is the quantity effect? Due to decreasing price, quantity will go up. Why? Because both follow the law of demand. Right, Mirko, Pirelin, Gustavo, PD?
Certainly.
Well done.
Yes.
So now let's try to understand the curves, the revenue curves for monopoly. So there are two revenue curves. One is the price and the MR, right? So in perfect competition, both are the same. So we just have to make a one straight line. That's it, right? But here, because monopoly follows the law of demand, So its curves are downward sloping. So if you draw the price line or the demand curve, so you see zero, you start prices here. This is the quantity here. So this is the quantity, and this you start drawing the price here. So it looks like this. And if you draw price against the marginal revenue against the quantity, it would be like this, right? So if these names are not written here, so how you can recognize that this is which one is marginal cost, marginal revenue, and which one is price or demand? There are two ways. One is we know that only marginal revenue is negative. So this curve has to be marginal revenue. Second, we know that price is always greater than MR. So that's why demand curve is up and the MR is down here. So this down curve must be the case of MR, because MR is always lower than the piece. This must be the price, right? So there are two ways to find out if you are not given the names here. Simple, you see the characteristics of the curve. If the curve is a negative one, so it must be the MR. And even if in some cases this negative is not given, then we know that price is always greater than MR. So the down, demand curve type style, which is downward sloping, it must be MR, and the demand curve is upper, which is this is the demand curve, right? So now we know that monopoly is different than perfect competition, even with respect to the graphs are different. So we have successfully cracked the revenue structure of monopoly. So like I told you, monopoly sales start decreasing, yes, due to MR is negative, right? So then what is the purpose of monopoly? Is also to earn profit, right? So thanks to economists, we don't have